Hello, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and today I am doing an elemental reading for you, Earth signs, and I'm using the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Let's see, can we get her in focus, sort of? Okay, it's a gorgeous deck, you'll see in a moment. So why don't I go ahead and give her a good shuffle, and I will meet you on the other side of the shuffle for your reading. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, let's see what we've got. Justice. Let me show you. Justice. Ace of Cups. Ten of Swords. Two of Pentacles. Okay, so with these readings, I read this card as where you're at when we begin, what you bring, and these are sort of the events or what's coming up. And so we start with you in Two of Pentacles modes, which for a lot of you Earth signs means you're juggling maybe a couple of jobs or juggling, someday I'll learn how to use this camera and these lights. So it's about juggling multiple responsibilities. Sometimes it's, the thing where, like, just as one example, you're pursuing an artistic career, but you have to have a day job while, you're taking dancing lessons at night or whatever it is. Or sometimes it's just that phase where you've got a high pressure job or you're working long hours and you still have to get your kid to soccer practice or help them with their math homework, that kind of juggling of responsibilities. And for a lot of us who are, Generation X, I assume my tarot readings appeal to Gen X folks, but that place where you're working and you're taking care of your kids and you're taking care of your parents who are starting to have, health issues or they're in that time of life where they need your help. So it's a time that can be exciting. It's a time that can feel productive, but it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibilities. The next card we have in kind of a position of upcoming events is Justice. Now, this is a major arcana card, so instead of an event, it's kind of more like a theme or a chapter heading, kind of a new area of focus for you, right? And justice is about contracts. It's about fairness in contracts. It's about fairness in, this can be relationships. This can be actual documents or contracts with a job or contracts with a builder, construction person. But typically what's at play here is the importance of making sure your part of the bargain, what you're signing up for, is understood and fair, that you're getting your fair share, that you're contributing your fair share. So sometimes for some folks, this shows up as, in the beginning of a relationship, when, especially if you've dealt with issues of reciprocity where maybe there wasn't fairness in the past, or you gave and ended up giving more than you got in return. So this can be a phase where you're focused on being clearly communicating who you are, what you need, what you're looking for, something like that. This can also come at the end of a relationship, right? Something formal like a divorce or child support arrangements that are hammered out. It could be as simple as, if you weren't married, if it was a shorter term relationship, maybe just making sure you get your favorite sweater back or something. Whatever the terms and conditions of the breakup are, being clear about what you expect, and again, it's not necessarily a relationship. It could also be a literal contract. You get a new job. Make sure you understand the fine print, what you're getting paid, what your benefits are. And sometimes we can take less in terms of like salary, but we get great benefits, or, whatever it is, make sure you are getting what you think you're getting. So this can be reading the fine print, getting a lawyer if necessary, sometimes getting other sort of law enforcement or, government agencies involved. But it's that sort of thing, making sure you get what you think you're getting, or get what you deserve out of a contract. And now the next one is the Ace of Cups. Let's see, here we go. Which is typically a new chapter in relationships, a new chapter in terms of making connections. For a lot of people, this would be a new relationship, or a new level in a relationship, or really finally getting to a place where your emotional kind of ability or capacity, or your capacity to connect is evolving, where you're practicing new skills, where maybe in the past you didn't want to, maybe in the past you weren't as clear or as open, or as expecting of reciprocity, or sure about your needs, or maybe you went after things that weren't right for you or fit for you, or things you thought your family wanted you to have, or society wanted you to have. This would be a new phase for growth in that area, where you start to get really clear on who you are, what you want, what you provide, but also what you need from an emotional connection. And often it's romantic, but it could also be, for some folks, it could be spiritual, like getting together with a spiritual group, or getting some yoga training that really opens up some emotional, how sometimes yoga can unleash emotional stuff, some poses or some practices, for some of us, not all the time, but something like that. Or it could be an artistic endeavor, like joining a band or a theater group, or, something where you get to express yourself creatively and get to really evolve that and grow that and practice those skills and build those muscles. So emotional, spiritual, creative, that's kind of all covered in this card. But I think, since this Ace of Cups follows this Justice card, it does seem to be, to me, it does kind of speak to personal relationships. So making sure, you're practicing kind of a new capacity to make sure you get what you deserve, make sure you get reciprocity, or get out of a connection what you think you're getting, and practicing, these new, a new openness, a new capacity for connecting. Now, the last card we have here, very interestingly, is the Ten of Swords, which is typically like an ending card. And of course, with every ending card comes new beginnings. So this whole package right here feels to me like I think for some of you, this is a breakup at the same time you're starting something new, or a breakup that leads to a new cycle of like looking out for yourself, self-care, taking care of yourself, being honest about what you need, about who you are, and sharing who you are without like trying to hold back or worry about what your partner or what somebody else is going to say or their response to it. Just the freedom to be yourself. So the Ten of Swords as an ending card, in terms of not just in the ending of this reading, but in the a card signifying endings. It's usually at the end of a painful cycle where you've had to carry, some sort of concerns or worries about what society says or what somebody else thinks about you or other people's opinions. See, she's got people like poking pins in her, like they're giving her all these ideas, right? But the fact that this is an ending card, a 10 card, means these opinions, these ideas, these notions that other people have for you just don't work. That's the end of that. We can't, this isn't, you aren't living for all of these other people who have ideas for you. You're living for yourself. You're living for your own pleasure. And so I think this sense of living for yourself, being true to yourself, like has to bring this ending about, right? Because this is just, you can't have this truth of self and this exploration of depth and connection with all of these people, trying to live your life or giving you their opinions or whatever. So ending and a beginning at the same time, while, juggling other practical stuff, making sure to get to work on time, the kids get to school on time, whatever it is. And also this very strong phase of expecting reciprocity, expecting fair play. So I hope I was clear enough, and it feels kind of jangled how I described it, but at the same time, it's such a clear reading to me that you're juggling stuff while you're renegotiating other aspects of your life, juggling the practical stuff while renegotiating relationships and relationship contracts, social contracts, and getting back in touch with self-care and the truth of yourself and the truth of your needs, means all these other opinions have to be chucked by the wayside. This is done now. This doesn't work. Whew, wow. That's a lot, you guys. But I hope this gives you some support. I hope it gives you some comfort, some validation that you deserve what you deserve. You deserve the right to be you, the right to be free of everybody else's opinions of you and, thoughts and judgments. You deserve to be you. And you deserve fair recompense, fairness out of whatever connections or contracts you make. Okay, I've said that enough times, right? I wish you guys all the best. I really do. I hope this gives you some support as you move through this ending and this beginning at the same time. This ending and this beginning that you're juggling. This ending and this beginning that you're juggling. Well, I keep thinking of new ways to say this. So I'm going to leave it there for you, my dears. Thank you so much for dropping by. Until next time, take good care.